Welcome everybody to another live broadcast of Adults Only. I'm your big brother Jahi, and Chazz is right there. We got a lot to talk about tonight, but before we get started, I want to make a special announcement. Tonight's broadcast is called "Why Can't We Get Together as African American Families a Little More?" The reason that we've gone this route is because on last week our subject matter was a little bit, I guess, intimidating, and we're not going to talk about it because we've gotten tagged on it, and we've been threatened to be removed from this, I guess this platform. So we're going to switch subjects today, and we're going to just kind of go on with what we do, because you know how it is when you're talking about those things that's very important. Sometimes there's rules and regulations, and people don't want to hear it, but that's why one day I guess we as a people, we're going to need our own platform where we don't have to worry about that, because our subject matter was really important. So once again, tonight we're going to be talking about why can't we get together as African Americans more. And as we normally do, Chazz normally talk to the people. So I'm going to let him start off by talking to the people as they come in.
What's going on, big brother? I see Sister Mashonda's fired in there. She says hello. We appreciate her. A Nuji comment says peace and blessings, fam. I appreciate her. And I just want to say real quick before we got into it, it is a shame that we can't really speak about certain subjects, and we have to switch subjects in the middle of a good broadcast prior to last week. So it's just terrible that we couldn't really finish that off, but I guess we have to move on.
Well, let's fire away today then, Chazz, because tonight's subject, I want to ask you this. It's why should African American families, why should we get together more on occasions? Now, we're not talking about every day. We're not talking about every month, right, but the time that we get together as a group, for the most part, is far and few between. And I just wanted you to comment on that before we get into all these different comments and notes that we have that we're coming up these points. But why should we get together, Chazz, as African American families?
For number one, I would say to build memories with those ones close to us, to be a good support system. And I'll go back to what I just said, to build memories. It's important because life is short. We grow up with a few people, and then before you know it, they're gone. And it's like, wow, you haven't really got a chance to know them or talk to them on a personal one-on-one basis. And I think that that's more important, more than anything, is actually building a relationship with a family member. Because I'm telling you, man, life is just going at a fast rate. And you don't want to get a chance not to be able to mingle with some of the family members if you are in the same city as them.
And a quick side note real quick, and we'll get back into the subject. Someone called me and told me that they haven't been able to get our broadcast for the last 2 weeks. So I told them, they said they normally get notifications, but they are not getting them anymore. So if you're not getting your notices or notifications, we ask that you just go to our page, and hopefully you'll be able to chime in and see us there. So that's one of the things. So it's like, Chazz, there's so much conspiracy out there, man. And I don't know, people are trying to stop us from talking and sharing the truth. But we gotta keep sharing it no matter what, man.
All right. We got another comment. Sister Barbara just fires in here. She says Hotep. We appreciate her comment. Sister Marie comment. She says Hotep Kings. We appreciate her comment. And Sister Barbara comments again. She says Hotep Kings, this time with fire emojis. But yeah.
Okay, Chazz, let's take the gloves off and let's see why we as African American families should get together. One of the reasons is to strengthen bonds. In other words, this helps us to maintain strong relationships. Now, I know we're not going to get done with this because there's so much going on. And for those who are watching this, you know just as well as we know that our families are not as close as they should be. Now, we realize that there are some African American families that's keeping the groove. They're doing what they're supposed to do. We applaud that. But this is to those of us who don't realize the importance of our bonds. Chazz, you said it best at the outset. We're getting older. We're going to leave this place soon. And a lot of us don't care to maintain those strong relationships, because my relationship with my cousins should be stronger than they are. My relationship with my nieces and nephews and my uncles and aunts should be stronger, especially with all the oppression that's going on, with all the things that are coming down the pike from the Supreme Court, just in life, the jobs, just daily living. So, Chazz, shouldn't we want to have these strong relationships?
Yeah, I was going to add to that too, as well. As far as they should be, I'm talking about family. They should be a good fallback where when you are going through a tough time, not financially, but just a fallback to where you know a relative you can call that's not going to gossip, that's going to have your back, listen to your issues, and also if you just want to go over there and chill for 20 or 30 minutes and say, "Hey, this is what's going on. I'm going through a tough time." Family should always be a good fallback to where you know they're in your corner, you know they got your back, but in this society, it's a little bit different now with family, especially with the way people yap and run their mouths.
Yeah, this is why we need strong relationships, because if we're honest with ourselves, our relationships within our family, they're really weak. They really are, Chaz. They're not as strong as they should be. And so this is why we're having this broadcast talking about that.
Absolutely. Sister Sakina comes in. She said, excuse me, she says, peace and blessings to you both. Thank you, Sister Sakina. Sister Mashana comments, she says, we need each other, but we need to stay, we, let me slow down. We need each other, but sad to say, for some reason, can't get along. She's right. A lot of us, we can't get along. And brother, listen, I'm gonna just say this real quick about her comment. It is petty. We
What?
can't get along. We can't get along because, for example, I'll go over to my uncle's house or I'll go over to my auntie's house, and because me and her nephew had a minor disagreement, we don't want to speak anymore for the rest of our lives. Just petty things. Or I
Yeah.
stepped on his new shoes. Now he doesn't want to say anything to me for the next 30 years. Brother, let me just say this real quick and I'll pass it back. Everybody goes through things where they have a minor disagreement or they don't always agree on everything. But that should not make you stop talking to a person for the rest of your lives. I mean, come on now.
You know what? I agree with you 100%, Chaz. And what this comment is true, but I want to take it another direction, because some of us, we can't get along, but some of us don't want to get along. See, there's a difference. Some of us don't want to get along, because I know you have issues. I know I have issues. I know we all have issues, but sometimes we don't want to put up with the dumb stuff. Let's be honest. We don't want to put up with the nonsense, the buffoonery, and the foolishness. And so we don't want to be around other people. And we have to address that, because we have to see that nowadays our families are hit. And who in their right mind would not like to talk about families getting together? And we're all guilty of it. It's
Right.
not just the other people, it's all of us. We're guilty because we have the nastiest attitude when it comes to our family because of how some of them are. But
Right.
show me a family that's perfect. Show me a family that don't have people in their family that don't drink a lot. Show me a family that don't have people that don't talk a lot and don't do a lot of drugs and all that. See, we got to check our own hearts, Chaz. And I'm beginning to look at all these comments more and more, where we look into ourselves, because some of the times we have to put up with that. There's no such thing as the perfect family.
Right. Sister Mashana fires back in here. She says, I tried to get my family together most recently, and it fell apart. They were beaten. No, I'm sorry. They were beefing in the text messages, so I just canceled the whole thing altogether. This is sad. Well, and I agree. I do agree with what she said, that when you try to get things together, sometimes things just seems like it just falls apart quickly because, like you just mentioned, some of those people that you're trying to get together, they don't want to get together. They don't want to be bothered. That's why they're coming up with some of these little nasty disagreements, so they don't have to show up, so they don't have to see each other's faces. And she's absolutely right. I can see why. I'm not agreeing with it, but I'm just saying I see why these family members are doing that. They're causing all this chaos because they don't want to be bothered.
And I would just add to this to say she tried and it didn't happen. It fell apart. The only thing I would say is to encourage this queen, to encourage her and give her some positive words, because that's what this broadcast is about. It's about positivity. We're talking about African American families, and most of us know how dire we need this discussion. So I would encourage her to let it die down and then try it again some other time. And don't ever get discouraged to where you say, I'm never, now she didn't say this, but some of us say, I'm never going to get my family together. I don't care if I ever see them again. That's the wrong attitude to have. So try to let things die down and try it again. If it doesn't work again, as long as you're on this earth, your responsibility is to be, I didn't say try every day. I said just to try. Now, she has a comment she said here, and I want to read it real quick. She says, I've tried 3 times. And I respect that. I respect that. And so what all I'm saying is, when your heart feels led to do so, then you continue to do it, because don't let them, even if it's just 2 or 3 of them that you get together with, it may not always be the group, the core. It could be some of them. So even if just 2 or 3 of them get together, that's family. That's family. So I know there's someone in that family that may do it. If it's just her and another person that like to meet up and say, hey, these are the only ones in my family that showed up. So I think, again, Chazz, this is a crucial subject, and I know we're not going to get done because the comments are firing their way. So take this one away.
Sister Barbara fires in here. She says, some family members think they're better than others in the family. Petty issues, theft, and misunderstandings. Now, I want to cover just the bulk of what she said. Where she said some, and we all have members who do think that they're better. They got a bigger car. They got a better apartment. They got a better degree. They went to Harvard. They went to Stanford. They went to these prestige colleges. So now they look at you as, I'm not coming back to that dump. I'm not coming back to that slop. Those people are nothing but scums, low-lives, pathetic scoundrels, and they feel like they're on another level, and they look down on them. And they were all, I was always told a long time ago, never forget where you come from. But brother, that is so far gone, and that is why I want to hit that off with her comment, where she mentioned that a lot of us think that they're better.
That's beautiful. And see, since you didn't say it, this, Chazz, since you didn't work them over, I gotta get in on this, Chazz. I gotta get in on this. You know what, Chazz? I love family, and I want to say these things to family that's encouraging, but sometimes we got to say other things to family, like you just said. And I'm going to add to what you said. Some of us are as rotten as the middle of an apple that haven't been eaten in 2 months. We're rotten. But what I'm trying to say is, y'all, we got to realize that everybody is different, and our responsibility is to keep up the flame and do the best we can, even if it's not that big. And the thing of it is she's right. Some of these people get a certain job or get a certain economic status, and they think this stuff doesn't stink. We have more to come on that later on, but she's right. Why in the world, who do you think you are to think you better than somebody when you came from the same womb? Who do you think you are to think you're better than somebody because you live on one side of town and somebody else lives on the other side of town that's supposed to be the ghetto? Who do you think you are because you drive a certain kind of car you don't want to get with your family because you think you're better than them? You, as you said, Chazz, the scum of the earth, and you are as rotten as the apple that I talked about. But we love you, though. We love you, but we've got to say this because a lot of us don't like to say this. We like to sugarcoat it and cake for them and give them an excuse to be pathetic as they are. When you don't want to meet with your family, you are as rotten as they come.
Absolutely. Sister Barbara comments again. She says, speak the truth. And she comes back in. She says, tell it like it is, big brother.
Chazz, this is a discussion that we need to have. Now, we slow the train down. We don't have to get through this today because I'm telling you now, Chazz, this is crucial. And most of us hide behind our cell phones. And we're going to talk about how some of us are antisocial. All that's coming up, whether we get to it this week or next week. Some of us don't want to be bothered until we want to be bothered. See, we want to tour with the band when there's a nice song out and everybody likes the song. When the song gets old, we don't want to tour until another new song comes out. And we have some serious psychological problems, but we need to get together as family so we can strengthen each other because we're living in a weak time. Kids are weak. Grown men and women are weak. Young adults are weak. Who's better to strengthen the family than us?
Letter B. To create special memories. This can be passed down for generations. Absolutely. And let me say this too. We shouldn't always get together, and I hate saying this, and there's a death in the family, because at that point, when there's a death, everybody wants to get knotted up. Everybody wants to get their tux. Everybody wants to put on their best gear and their best attire. And then they're going to come down and sling snot, and they're going to do a lot of these things. And these special memories, I kind of tie that in there. It's because, to me, a special memory shouldn't be remembered. We shouldn't be remembered as, getting together at a casket when our aunties and stuff died. Special memories should be built on an average Saturday or average Thursday.
Good call.
Getting together and just having a good time, playing cards without any violence or talking about some old school times, things like that. Getting together, having a good time, so that way when our children get older, they can repeat the cycle as well.
I don't want to go on a rant about this, Chazz, but you just spoke the truth. And the special memories are something. See, I can remember the time when I was a little boy and we would have family reunions or we would go to the park. man, we would have so much fun. And those memories hold me, man. I'm getting choked up now as I talk about it because
Come on, dog.
no, Chaz, those memories were sacred to me, man. And those memories I go back to sometimes when I'm down, you see, when I see my uncle coming to a family reunion, dancing and acting silly, just having fun. Those are special times, you see. But a lot of us nowadays, we don't care about special memories because we have our mind made up that we're not wanting to be a part of something that our grandmother and grandfather started and great-grandmother and grandfather started. And we're going to talk about that later on as well. I keep saying we're going to talk about a lot of things later on, but we need to deal with these people who have this screwed up attitude when it comes to making sure that the family is trying to stay intact. Listen, everybody is against the African-American family. Everything is against us. And right now, we need each other, Chaz. We don't need to be estranged. We don't need to be away. But these people in these families are so sick psychologically that they don't realize the value of a family, man. And that's important.
Absolutely. Sister Mashana comments, she says, yeah, then at the funeral, they be like, we need to get together more, and it never happens.
Listen, let me tell you something, Chaz. I know I'm gonna pass it back to you, but I gotta say this because I remember it and I gotta get this off my chest. When my mother passed away, my sisters and I, we got in this room. This was after the funeral. Boy, you should have seen us lying. We were crying and lying. We were crying. we said what we were going to do. We're going to always keep my mother's memories alive by getting together. We're going to always associate with one another. We're going to always call and keep in contact with one another. We're going to always do the right thing as siblings, brothers and sisters. We were crying, slinging snot, but we were lying because that did not happen. And we are just as rotten as that apple that I said earlier. And I'm a part of it because we don't do that. And this sister here, this queen, she says, right. At the funeral, we always say, yeah, we're going to do better. And within a month's time, it's back in the saddle again.
Absolutely. I was just going to ask you real quick. Let me see. Sister Marie comments. Read a comment. She says, family, it is called being an adult.
Okay, I'll let you touch on that. Okay, I'll talk about it and I'll give it back to you because you're going to say something profound. I know you're waiting on it, chomping at the bits to get it, but this is what she's saying. She's saying, families, it's called being an adult. An adult. See, little kids are not going to get us together. Teenagers are not going to say, let's have a family reunion. Right. You see what I'm saying? Okay. It's adults. See, and we shouldn't expect the youth to get us together. It's the adults that should take the reign. This is what she's saying. When you are an adult, you realize the importance and the value of family. So you can run to the church. I can run. I got to put this on there. I can run to the spiritual meetings. I can run to the mosque. We can run to all these places. And if these places aren't telling you the importance of family, take what you believe and throw it in the trash can and leave it there, because every so-called religion should talk about the importance of family. The only thing is they may talk about it, but we don't be about it. And this is what she's saying. Adults should be adults. We got to do a broadcast on immature adults one day, because I'm telling you, most of us, we are so immature. We lie, we cheat, we don't believe what we say, we don't say what we mean. We're always trying to get over on people, and we're con artists. We're con artists. That's the family, many of us. But go ahead, Chaz. I know you want to say something profound.
Yeah. First, I was just going to say about her comment. She said families is called being an adult. And absolutely, as adults, we should reach out to the teenagers. We should reach out to our little cousins. We should reach out to them. And hey, if they don't get back to us, that's on them. At least we tried, and at least we tried to initiate it. But the other part is this too. As adults, we can't be what you call boxed in to where we're afraid to reach out to our youth. Because as we mentioned on some prior broadcasts, a lot of us don't want to reach out to our youth because we see them in a certain way, or we see them in a certain light. So as the sister mentioned, let's reach out to them. If they don't get back, we did our part, and then try to do the best that we can. But it's terrible. It's terrible, man.
And she said it's called being an adult. And I got to harp on that too, because many of us adults, here it is. I'm going to give you an illustration with just you and I. Let's say if you're 15 and I'm 50. And you say something to me or do something to me that I don't like.
Okay.
When they send me the letter saying we're gonna get together, I'm gonna say as the adult now, I ain't coming to no family reunion. Oh, that Chazz, man, he owes me. I don't want to lay that in.
Yeah.
The only thing he better do is pay me my money, and I don't want to see him ever again. This is how sick us adults are. This is how sad us adults are. So instead of saying, you know what, you mean more to me than money. You mean more to me than anything. So when I get the letter, I want to say, oh, there's an opportunity for us to get together. Now, I may pull you to the side at the reunion or at the gathering and just say, hey, Chazz, have you forgotten about this? And then you not blow up and we kill each other over just cause you asked me about something. Well, because you owe me. But the bottom line is, the sister said that we let those petty things get us down, man. We got a lot of comments coming in, man. So we gotta stay on top of these comments. I know we're not gonna get done. Keep going, man.
Okay, Sister Marie Fires in here. She says those families that do not want to get together, they need to grow their blanks up. But she's right. Well, she's right. And we all are guilty. All of us at some point have had a family reunion offered to us, and we said we don't want to go because of X, Y, and Z. So she's right. We do need to put the pettiness aside and go there. And whatever happens, like you said, brother, if we see that brother, we see that cousin, pull them to the side. Not in front of everybody, not while all the family members are sitting around waiting. Just pull them to the side and talk to them about it. But yeah, we do need to grow up in that aspect as far as we're getting together with our relatives. She's right.
And that's what she's saying. We have a lot of, and like I said, that broadcast, Chazz, you're going to have to rein me in on that one when we talk about the immature adults, because we need to grow up, Chazz. We are too old to be acting like this. We're too old to be not speaking to one another because of something you said 15 years ago. We are too old to be arguing with each other because what your child said to my child, your child told me, and now I don't want to see you or your kid. This is ridiculous, man. It's nonsense. And the comments are firing away. We may not get past those second points, but you know how this broadcast is, Chazz. This broadcast is called Adults Only. It can be seen every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time. And this is for our people. So that's why we're allowing our people to chime in. And here's another one, Chazz.
Much as they like. Absolutely. Sister Masana comments, she says, I've experienced non-family members treat you better than your own family. I think we all have. Because it gets to a point to where I think familiarity, where we get so familiar with one another, we feel like as family members, oh, that's just little old Chris from down the street. We remember him. We'll just do whatever and we'll get back to him, whatever. But there are some people, as she just mentioned, that aren't our family, who are serious, who do care about us, and they want to see us thrive. They're not always eager to beat us out of anything. I'll put it that way.
Okay, Chazz, I'm going to say something now that's profound. I'm going to say something that is just shocking. I believe what this sister just said is true. Some people do treat us better than our family. And this is no slight on what the sister's saying, because she's right. But I want to add to that. But Chazz, they steal your family. Yeah. See, they steal your family. I don't care what kind of people they are. They steal your family. They don't treat us better than other people in many instances, but they steal our family. Some of them got problems, Chazz. They got serious issues, but they steal our family. Everybody's not the way I want them to be in my family. I'm not the way they want me to be, but they steal my family. That's the point I'm trying to make, man.
Yeah, and I want to push back lightly against that, because there are people who use what you just said and they take that to the utter disrespect. Well, I can do this and that because that's still my brother, or that's still my uncle, that's still my niece. And I think with that mentality, not always, but some people, brother, they take what you said, oh, that's still my family, so I can disrespect him and treat him and do him any kind of way. That's the part where I think it gets extreme, because there are people who think like that.
And those who think like that, you are lower than a worm. You are lower than a worm if you do. Sister Sakina wrote something. We're talking about why can't we get together as African-American families more? Don't run from this subject. Quit ducking and shiving. Quit shiving and jiving. Listen to this. Get in on this, because your family and my family is the same way. Can't get together unless a European tell you that a holiday is coming. Then you want to get together. But other than that, you can't get together. Chazz, take your time and read the sister's comment, because it's quite lengthy, but I want her to get every word in.
She says, we must value our family, the generation before mine, which were the glue. have passed on, and my generation is fading fast.
Yeah.
The young generation don't stay in touch and get together, but it's just not the same as we should appreciate. Love
Whoa.
and value family while they are still here.
Whoa, Sister Sakina, this is the most sagacious thing she's ever said. We can end the show after that, because what she's saying is true. When grandma and great grandma and mama and daddy, great granddaddy, and the great great granddaddy, when they died, Chaz, she's saying something happened, man.
Yeah.
She's right. Something happened when they passed away. And we have not been able to recover, because that glue, there was value she's talking about. This is one of the, this is the best comment she's ever made. She will never make another comment that is as profound and prolific as this is. This is awesome, because she's right. We've lost a lot. And see, we don't know how to get it back, because, as one of the sisters said, we're so immature. And instead of taking the torch that our grandparents gave us and our parents gave us, we're still bickering it because you didn't speak to me at the last family reunion, so I would never come back and get together with these people. This is absurd.
And I'll just take it a step further before we reach this next comment, as she just mentioned. I think when like you said, our great grandmother or our grandfather, when they pass away, I'm willing to bet you it just appears that there's a pattern. Those people who pass away, they seem like they held on to morals, values,
teach
to our family. So it's like when they pass away, their whole morals and identity, it goes in the trash can. And then when we see these new cats, it's the truth. And these new cats, like our new cousins and nephews and stuff like that, their philosophy, brother, is so much different than our grandfathers and our grandmothers. And that's where the confusion is coming in at, because they look at it, grandma and great grandpa, those old ideas are whack, they corny, they ain't hitting on nothing. But it appears that the elders, like you said, the grandfather and them, they really were about something, and they stood on family values. And that's the thing I hate that happens when they pass away. That's just my opinion. And I'll read this comment. Sister Barbara comment. She says, there are family members who refuse to be adults, hanging on past disagreements, etc. Done. Some of them will come to a family gathering carrying weapons. Tell me why. Now that last comment is what I want to really tackle. And I read I want to tackle the last comment.
Okay.
Any person that's a relative that's going to come to another relative's barbecue or skating party with a weapon, you are messed up in the mind. Why would you come to a gathering? I could see if you're going out to the everyday life. Nobody should be coming to a family get together thinking about harming people. That's drama. You're looking for mess. You're looking for chaos. I think that is terrible. And for any family member who does that, you need to go sit down and just sit down. So, because that's ridiculous, brother. A family member bringing a weapon, that should be the farthest thing from your mind. That just goes to show you where our minds are, brother, as an African-American community.
You're right. That mentality you mentioned earlier in your previous statement, that mentality is so whack. But this is the mentality that we have. You have little children at these family gatherings. Yes, you have babies at these family gatherings. You have young ladies at this family gathering. You have older gentlemen at these gatherings. You have all types of people at these family gatherings whenever we get together. Why would you want to bring some kind of weapon just in case, even if somebody did something to you? Why would you want to shoot somebody in your family? It's because your mind has been taken over by a century ago of Eurocentric indoctrination that is out to destroy one another. And this shows, like you said, Chad, this is crazy. She said, tell me why. And you told her why. Because many of us still have that old ancient mentality, and we don't like to talk about getting together as families. And we as a people, man, we are holding on to stuff that we should have let go a long time ago. And this is prohibiting us from getting together. And as we get older, we're missing out precious times and precious memories when it comes to that.
Excuse me. Sister Mashana comment, she says, true that, Marie. Sister Barbara comments put for show. And she says, teach. Okay.
Okay, now let's go back to some of these, Chaz, as to the reason that we should get together.
Okay.
As family members.
Letter C, for support and connection. Family gatherings provide a platform for encouragement, especially during challenging times. And I said that earlier. A family, if it's done correctly and done the right way, they should be a good backbone or a support system to where when we're falling on hard times, and listen to what I'm saying here,
Okay.
not financially, because see, everybody wants to run on a family member when we fall on short times or hard times. We always want somebody to help us out. I'm not talking about finances. I'm just talking about looking at a man or looking at a woman, our relatives in our eyes and say, you know what? I'm going through a tough time. I need somebody to listen. I lost someone close to me. I lost my job. My kids aren't acting right. Things like that. And not anything with finances, brother, because I think a lot of people would take that word support and tie that into finances and cash, which I think it's a crying shame, brother.
And let me dive in this water right here, Chaz. Let me dive in this water too, doing a swan dive. Because the part that I'm looking at, it says is we need to have support and connection because we don't have a connection in many families. But now this is the part I want to talk about. Family gatherings, they should provide a platform for encouragement, especially during challenging times. It didn't say cussing people out. See, some of us come to these reunions or these gatherings, and we're looking for trouble, Chaz. We got hell on our shoulders, hell in our heart, hell on our backs. We're waiting to tell somebody off. So when you come to me and tell me, Brother Ja, I'm like, what's going on, Chaz? You said, man, I just lost my job, and I'm just struggling right now. I'm just going through a lot right now, emotionally, just a lot of stuff going on. And instead of me saying, let's see what we can do to help out, let me give you some encouragement. I'm gonna cuss you out. You're sorry, SOB. You had no business. You had no business doing this. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You got all those kids, and you know those kids gotta be taken care of. You are so sorry. You ain't no good. You just like your uncle. You just like your daddy. You SOB, MFer. See, this is the kind of stuff that really gets to us, man. This is the kind of family that we have. Because nobody don't realize that everybody goes through things, and we don't need to be beat up verbally. We need encouragement. And that's why when it comes to encouragement, it's a lot of us that don't know how to encourage because we know how to cuss you out, but we don't know how to encourage.
Absolutely. A letter D, to create a positive tradition. These special times help our young ones keep tradition alive. Absolutely. It's a good thing for our 3, 4, 5, 6-year-old nephews to see us acting in a positive manner, so that way when they get older, they can try to keep the tradition alive with their young ones and their kinfolks and that kind of thing. And when you say positive tradition, let's teach them and I'm not coming down on these people. Let's teach them the positive way to getting together by not fighting, by not causing chaos, by not smoking dope, drinking. Create a positive atmosphere for them so that way when they get older, they can have something to look forward to and to mimic, not anything like you said that's always fighting, vulgar, fighting in the yard and stuff like that. That's not what the tradition should be about.
Yeah, this broadcast is called Adults Only because only adults can listen to this, and these adults can extrapolate and exchange ideas. This is for the mature mind. This is not for the weak and feeble man or woman who's afraid to deal with reality as we face it as African Americans in the United States of America. This broadcast is for those who want to talk about those things that's going to help them in life. Tonight, we're talking about family and why we don't get together more as African American families. This is one of the things that we said we should get together more for because we want to create a positive tradition. Now, Chaz, isn't it strange? And I don't want to keep talking about religion because I'm not fixated on religion, but that's a part of all of our lives. Right. But isn't it strange how we keep other traditions around, but we don't keep our family tradition and make it positive? Mm-hmm. We keep these church religions, we keep those traditions around, wearing white, doing certain things in the building. We keep traditions around in Islam. You know, there's certain days that we keep the Ramadan, and those are positive things. Right. We keep traditions around in spirituality. When the new year comes around September, we do certain things. So we all keep those traditions around. But when we keep these European holidays, it's one coming up tomorrow called the 4th of July. We keep these traditions alive. But when it comes to the family, Chaz, I've got to get deep. When it comes to the family tradition, many of us don't have it because we don't want that kind of tradition. But we want all that other stuff that's going on in these buildings, and those things are fine. I'm not knocking them. But why don't we be more excited about our own family tradition, like with our mothers and our fathers, our grandmothers and grandfathers? They passed some positive traditions down to us, and we have taken those traditions and thrown them in the sewers.
You're right. And I was just scared to take it a step further. Brother, I hate to say this, but I have to say it. Those traditions, I'm talking about the young generation, the people around my age group. Those traditions, the reason why we're throwing them in the sewer is because we don't think that those traditions are about anything.
Whoa, come on, man.
If we really like something, if something is serious and important to us, we're going to hold on to that. We're going to make sure nobody destroys it. But if we don't want something or we don't care about something, we're going to let whatever happen. We're going to treat it whatever, do however we feel. And that's why some of these traditions, they just aren't important to, I keep harping on my age group, the younger ones, because I think we have a hard time trying to get along with the elders and their philosophies. But that's why we're throwing them in the sewer, because we don't care about them anymore.
There's a comment I'm going to put up next. It's kind of lengthy as well. I love these comments, but I want to get in on this too, Chaz. And I'm going to say this now, and I don't care who likes it, who doesn't like it. But some of the reason that your generation don't realize the importance of these positive traditions when it comes to family gathering, African-American family gatherings, here it is. It's because the parent is afraid of the child. Oh, yes. The parent is afraid of their kids who have gotten older, see? And instead of telling them the importance of the positive tradition, the parent doesn't say anything. They're afraid. They have become afraid of their own children. So now their children have gotten grown, and instead of them being the parent, the children is running them, and now they done flip this thing over, and now the parent has become the child, and the child has become the parent.
Okay, let me take my time and read this comment. Sister Marie comment. She says, money is always the issue. You can let them know a year in advance, and they still complain. Don't ask them for $100. They will complain. But if you say, let's go spend $100 on dope and liquor, they will be very happy. They cannot have a family reunion without that. Why is that? I think some of it has to do with our culture as Blacks. We are always taught in any circumstance, when you get together, you got to drink, you got to smoke, you got to pop Xanax, you got to pop Vicodin, you got to pop all this crap. You have to take this stuff in order to feel good. But she's right. We are so easy to get together, even for a birthday party, to get together and go and spend $130 on some Hennessy or vodka or what have you. We can easily go do that. That's because it's something we want to do. But as she mentioned, something as far as letting somebody know in advance for $100 for something that's important for us, food or utensils and stuff to cook with, they don't want to do that. And it boils down to culture, and they don't want to. But she's right, brother. And I'm willing to and I'll pass it back real quick. I'm willing to bet you, if they said we can get together and have a family get together, but we can't bring any liquor, I don't think anybody would show up. I really don't. Oh, I forgot, the liquor and weed and pills. If you have to come to this function sober,
come on, Chaz.
Have one or two people that show up.
Come on, Chaz. Come on, man.
It's just the truth. That's how much we love it.
Okay, and she said this. She says, "Why is that?" I want to get to that part. I'm going to answer that to the best of my ability. It's more to it than what I'm going to say, but I'm going to answer that. The reason that we don't get together as African-American families more, because we don't get together at all unless the European tell us that there's a so-called holiday and we're going to run and get a barbecue pit. But the reason we don't get together, Chaz, is because we have lost the values, the family values. Our family values of camaraderie, just belonging, love. Because like she said, we'll spend $500 to go see some joker come and play a guitar or sing or rap or cuss somebody out or have naked on stage. But we won't spend $300 or $400 to get an airplane ticket once every blue moon to get with our people. We gripe about money, but yet everything we want. We got more weave. We got more eyelashes. We got more. We got more fingernail polish. We got more, toenail polish. We got more cologne. We got more stuff to put on the hair on our silly chest to make us smell good. We got all this stuff, man, that we spend money on. We got our hats, we got our gym shoes, we got our New York Yankee caps on. You know, we got all these things that we spend money on, and we don't think about that. But when it comes to family, I ain't doing that. Let them come to me. Cause you lazy and you shiftless and you're no good. And that's what she said. That's why.
Absolutely. We got another comment. Sister Barbara comment. She says, an associate of mine told me that her grandfather traveled from out of state to accompany his family as his ex-wife had just gone through a triple bypass. And his grandkids wanted to fight him, 80 years old, because of issues he and the ex-wife had long before they were born. Now that's terrible. First of all, this is a serious issue. If the man had a triple bypass, that's serious stuff right there. Like
it is.
That's terrible. But for the fighting, I mean, and this is from what I can read before the kid was born. I mean, this is ridiculous. It just goes to show you, brother. In a nutshell, I think where our minds are at, where it seems like for whatever reason, we cannot get together without any chaos or violence. That's what I want to buckle down from this comment.
I want to apologize to all of those people that are watching Adults Only now. I must apologize because this comment is not funny. When you were reading it, I was snickering, but you know, as old as I am, I shouldn't be snickering because, like you said, this is serious. It goes to show how sick we are as a people that you would want to fight an 80-year-old person in spite of his health condition. We got some people in our families that need to be told the truth. And see, if we men were more of men, we would have jumped in that fight and beat the hell out of those younger people for messing with the older person to show them we don't play that, you see. But we're the ones who are saying, yep, get him, turn him around, hold him up, and do these things to him. Because again, Chaz, we got some people in our families that are just so far gone. You know, they don't even want to do anything but bring mess and keep up all that nonsense.
And I just have to say something real quick because I needed to just touch this up on before I get to this next comment. But that is a shame. I mean, the kid or the teenager or the adult, whoever he was, some things like, say, for example, if a little kid comes up and hit me on my knee, I'm going to go, whatever, okay, whatever, keep going. But to sit up here and have the thought of really challenging an 80 or 90-year-old man with health conditions, that just goes to show you that person has no integrity and they have no morals. To fight an 80-year-old man with health conditions, come on.
Chad, before you read this comment, I gotta say this. See, what will happen is what I said should happen. We should all jump in and make sure that these young punks don't ever do this again. All the family, the kids and all, we should be wailing away on them. They'll never do it again. But what happens is if you are ignorant and you curse out one of your uncles and he's in his 70s, then somebody gonna check you in the family reunion, gonna say, Chaz, you shut up. You don't talk to your uncle like that. But then your relatives gonna say, hold on now, God D. Hold on. You don't talk to my son like that. And then your sister gonna say, oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And then that other person's cousin or brother gonna say, now this is what it's all about. And so now you got families fighting and taking sides when they're too old for that. And Sister Marie said it best. We are too old, Chaz. We're too old for this, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Sister Mashana comments, she says, that was an issue with some of my family members. D-shame.
Yeah, it is. It is a shame. It's a disgrace. Yeah. It's low. And see, instead of us calling it out and saying we're on the side of righteousness, we don't get that. We always take the side of someone who we feel sorry for, but that person could be wrong, Chaz. They can be wrong. And we always caping for the enemy. See, and this is why we don't get together more.
Sister Barbara comments, she says, Mashonda, yes. Then Mashonda comments, she says, then they probably recorded it instead of helping. Yeah, and that's the bad thing too. Yeah, because they want to, there's these apps called like Snapchat and World Star Hip Hop. They want to go viral for beating down an 80-year-old man. And then the people in the comment section making no better, brother. You know how social media is. Oh, he tore that old man up. Oh, he wore that old man out. And it's like, that's not, anything to be bragging
And
about.
Chad,
This is an elder.
and why would you videotape your own relatives having a dispute? See, that should be left in house. Everything that happens shouldn't be on social media. And she's right. They would have recorded it and posted it and got 1 million likes. But then looking at something like this, they wouldn't want to. They wouldn't want to get into this, Chaz. This is why we should get together because of this right here.
Letter E, celebration and joy. Special occasions involve celebrating milestones and achievements, which should bring positiveness to the family. Absolutely. And I want to say this as far as for the youth, our young nieces and nephews, they should be seeing this as far as getting together, celebrating something that's positive. That way, when they grow older, they can have hope. They can have something to look forward to, because sometimes in life, it beats us down, and then they have these little accomplishments and they keep it to themselves. It's a good thing to where we get together, maybe even if this is a family of 3 or 4, where we celebrate something that happened for our family members instead of putting down, dogging them out, and criticizing them. I think we should do more of celebrating people's accomplishments instead of tearing them down.
Now, I'm going to play the advocate because I know what you're saying is true, and I definitely agree with it 100%. But see, celebration and joy is not what we have when we go to these reunions. First of all, when you send me the letter or you send me the text that we're going to get together in 8 months from now, instead of me saying, wow, I can't wait, we're going to get together as a family, this is going to be a good time, I am so happy and celebratory, I can't wait, I got so much joy in my heart, I can't wait to see all of y'all. I look at that text and I go, man, I don't want to go to that thing, man. Man, I ain't thinking about that, man. I ain't, man, please. They're going to be doing the same old thing, barbecuing and talking. That's what it's all about. That's creating memories, you see. Right. The family union is not where every year you got to do something different. Now, some people try that, and that's fine. But it's the aspect of celebration and joy. We should be happy to get together and be around one another. But because of this negativity, because of this evil that's inside of many of us, we don't see this as a fun time. Then we'll say, Chaz, when I get this thing, I'm going to say, when you give me that invitation, I'm going to say, I'm going to call you and say, Chaz, I'm coming to this one, but this is my last time. I'm not coming back again. Now, what kind of stuff is that, man? That you're putting a limit on this because you're so sick and you don't realize the importance of celebration and joy.
I was going to say, if a person does call and say that, 9 times out of 10, they don't want to be there in the first place. So I would have politely told them, ma'am, sir, just don't show up. And not in a disrespectful way. Because it's the truth. If you're going to put rules and stipulations on stuff, don't show up. You should be happy, like you said, joyful to go do these things. But I'll move on to the next slide. Letter F, communication. Regularly coming together helps improve communications within the family. Yes, talking about things, hashing things out in a positive way. And when I say communication, because as adults, we always want people to guess our feelings, guess what's going on in our mind. No, let's sit face to face and talk to each other about it. And once again, if there is a disagreement, communicating in another room and not in front of each other, as far as that's going to expose their business. Talking privately, quietly, communication is good, because the side or the what I'm trying to say here, the other side of this coin here is miscommunication. You say something, but I didn't interpret it the right way, vice versa. It's like communication is key to hash out and stop a lot of our problems.
Whenever we can't communicate within a family, that family has disintegrated. Just like this broadcast, many people aren't interested in dealing with the truth of what's really going on with our families. And so, therefore, the communication lines, they say, are broken. And when the communication lines are broken, anything, and I mean every and anything could happen, and that's what's going on. Communication is vital. It's crucial to maintaining family ties, family bonds, family connections, family relations. But because most of us don't see the value of communication, because we look at communication as just showing up and me going under a tree, drinking a 40 ounce while everybody else is doing something else. Well, we sure had a good time. No, you didn't have a good time. You didn't even talk to the people. You didn't even communicate. You set your behind down under the tree and you smoke this, but or the younger one, go down by the river. If it's a park, go down by the river where the old folk can't see and get as high as a kite and come back and think that this is not what it's about. But this is the small mindset. Because here's the deal, Chazz, and I promise you I'm gonna let you have it. Here's the deal. Many of us as adults, African American adults, I believe this with all my heart. We are so sick internally. We are crazed. We think we're well, but we're not. And so we don't see the value of us getting together. And that's why our families are falling apart. And it's like, again, they're saying on all these comments, we adults, we got to do a better job because many of us are crazy, man. We're nuts. And we don't want to face the fact that that's what's going on in our lives. We are some sick people, and we have not dealt with these issues that we face every day. And so we blame everybody else instead of dealing with the truth.
Yep, Sister Mashana comments. Yep, and I just wanted to touch up real quick on the communication part. Real quick, the communication as far as when we see that relative getting together, and I don't know if I said this earlier, but I'll say it one last time. When we see that relative telling them, you know what, brother, I may have sent that text message to you, or cousin, I may have sent that text message to you. This is really what I meant, or I didn't mean that. And if I offended you, I'm sorry. Will you please accept my apology? That's communications. But sometimes we send a text message and it looks a certain way to the other person, and we may not have meant it that way. Now, the other relatives is angry at us, and we're like, well, why are they mad at us? It's just communication as adults should be clear and hashed out instead of always up in the air, especially when we're adults. A lot of this stuff is just up in the air for us to interpret, and then we're wondering why people are treating us a certain kind of way. But communication is key.
This broadcast is called Adults Only. It can be seen every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, 7 o'clock Eastern Time. You ought to tune in because we're always talking about family issues, things that we can glean from to learn to be better people. Tonight's subject is why can't we get together as African American families a little more? And we're talking about these excuses that are lame that we use. Take this one, Chazz, and I want to take a stab at this one when you get through reading it.
Letter G, health benefits. Studies show that strong family connections contribute to mental, emotional, and physical health. I'll let you take a stab at it.
Here's the deal. Some of us use our health as an excuse for not getting together. Now, I understand when we get older, some people can't travel. I get that. You know, they can't get on a plane and you know, they can't do all these things. And I get that. But I'm talking about some of us who use our ailments. Oh, Chad, I can't. Okay, so here again, and I'm using myself. You send me the text saying, big brother, we getting together next year. And instead of me going, wow, I can't wait, I'm going to text you back or I'm going to call you. You say, what's going on? Chaz, I can't do it, man. You know I got high blood pressure. But you didn't say that when you shoving all that pork, in your stomach, in your face. I didn't say that then. Chaz, you know I can't move, man. My legs give out. But yeah, when you drink and you're shaking your leg and shaking your butt and trying to do your backside thing, you don't say that then.
Right.
You know I can't go to that. You know I can't go to that family reunion. I can't get together. Yeah, but when your favorite artist come that's tore up and broke down, that ain't done a song in years, you run over to the Coliseum and you want to be the first one to get a ticket to see the street grow, to see them get up and do their thing. See, so I'm saying, Chaz, we use that. We use this stuff like an excuse. Chaz, you know, I got high blood pressure. My health is bad. My liver is bad. My heart is bad. My kidney is bad. You know, we make excuses, Chaz, because we shouldn't allow that, man. Yeah. We should not allow that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and brother, I'm glad you said that because we all do have relatives in our family. And once again, let's be clear. We're not making fun of their health conditions. Not at all. But they use that as a cop-out when they don't want to show up. So, like you said, we do all the other things that we want to do. We always go to all these movie theaters to watch them or concerts or anything that we want to do. But like you said, we come up with all kind of health excuses when we don't want to go. And it's a shame. Like you said, we use our health as cop-outs.
Let me tell you something that's going to happen tomorrow. For those who may watch this broadcast later on, today is July the 3rd. This is the year, so-called 2024. So you know what's going to happen on July 4th. I don't care whether your blood pressure is sky high. I don't care whether your liver, I don't care whether you're the kidney, I don't care whether your neck, your eyes, I don't care whether your ASS. I don't care what's going on with you, Chad. You're gonna grab a barbecue pit and gonna drag it out to a park. And if you're not barbecuing, you're gonna find an Uber, a taxi. You're gonna crawl to that park so you can be there to get that liquor, to get that beer, to get that wine, to get that drink, to get that dope, to get them pills. You're gonna get there. You're gonna get there by any means necessary. But you can't get together with your family to just sit down and talk about life. We're gonna stop on that, Chaz, because we only have 6 minutes left. We have some, so we got so much more to talk about. And this is why people are not watching this broadcast, because we don't like to deal with what's going on, Chaz. And what's going on is African American families, we're not getting together a little more. I didn't say every week, I didn't say every month, but when the European holidays so-called come up, we do everything we can to get together. Why does it take another man to tell you when you and your family to get together? You're not smart enough to conjure up a meeting with your group, and it doesn't have to be all 80 of them. Maybe it's just your immediate family, brothers and sisters, your siblings. Maybe it's just your cousins. And, we act like we can't think, man. But we have 4 comments. And so we're shutting this thing down as far as these points we're putting up here. We got quite a bit of them, so we're going to pick it up next week. But I'm going to let you read these comments, and let's just see.
You are a handful, man.
It's true.
Sister Charisma has some emoji clapping hands. We appreciate that. She has 100%. Sister Barbara comments, she says, my mother was the glue of the family, and the family hasn't honored her last wishes for her children, grands and great-grands. Instead, they will curse you out, etc. And their parents, my sibling sides with them are with their disrespectful attitudes.
Now that's another profound statement.
I'll let you get that one.
That's another profound. These comments today. I think this right here, Chaz, this broadcast tonight, we've done many of them, and we've had many comments on many shows. Right. But these comments today are they're so in tune with life, man. Because when the mother leaves or the father leaves, the glue that holds the family together, it basically disintegrates. And we know this. And instead of saying, I'm not going to be like most families, we fall into the same trap as she's saying her great grands. Instead, they're going to cuss you out, see? And then their mothers and fathers, they side with them because they're so disrespectful. They'll let their nieces and nephews cuss their aunt out and take their family side. We have gotten out of control, and someone has to talk about this. Someone has to put this in perspective, and we've got to do a much better job, Chaz, because most of us know this is true, but we won't do anything about it.
Absolutely, and that's a shame, too. I just want to piggyback off what you just said. For our elders to get treated like this, it's a shame. When you see them get disrespected and you say, hey, like, don't talk to your auntie like that. Don't talk to your uncle like that. But instead, the adults, it seems like they're applauding, they're clapping, they're egging, and hyping them up to keep being disrespectful. It just goes to show you where this society and this generation is going. And I keep harping on that, as I mentioned earlier, the people my age, my generation, it just seems like disrespect is at an all-time high. Now, back in the day, it appeared if someone got caught doing what like she mentioned, disrespecting the elders, someone pulled them to the side and say, hey, you don't do that. But now it's applauded. Now it's hyped up. Now you do that, you get put on YouTube and TikTok so people can comment and make fun of you. It's sad that they did that. And then the other part, she mentioned that her mother's wishes weren't granted. And they said that at the moment that, yeah, we're going to do it. Yeah, we're going to do what you want. And then if she didn't get her wishes granted, which is sad because that's something she looked forward to, and they basically, I hate to say it, they lied to her.
Wow.
I hate to say that. They lied. And Charisma comments, she says, and then they want to wait until someone dies or goes to jail. Then they want to get together. She's right. I said that earlier about the funeral part where nobody cares. Nobody has anything good to say until that man or that lady is in that casket. Then we want to come over and sling snot and talk about all the good times. And it shouldn't take all that. Now, the jail part, I kind of disagree a little bit because I think a lot of people are so fed up with society. We feel like, well, he should have been doing what he did. That's what he get. Let him rot in there. That's where I think society is going with the jail thing, but she's spot on. Brother,
Right.
You are a handful, and I cannot believe time is already done.
Yeah, it is, and I want to end this on a note. I agree with Charisma 100% as far as shaking my head, because it's the same storyline. We keep saying it happens. Somebody dies. We say we're gonna get together. We shouldn't meet like this, and it happens. Then it happens again. Somebody else dies. We come together again. It's a cycle, man, and we got to stop this cycle. And we adults, we have to be the ones to do it. Now, I want to make a quick special announcement, a couple of them, and we'll let you go. The special announcement is we live in San Antonio, Texas, and in San Antonio, Texas, on September the 15th, which is a Sunday, at 5 o'clock, there's a play that Chazz and I both are involved in. It's called Shadows of Doubt, Whispers of Innocence. In fact, it's going to be held at the Joe Long Theater, located at 226 North Hackberry. Those who want to support us, if you can't make it, we're going to try to get it taped so we can sell the thumb drive, or how we're going to do it. But those who want to support us, you can support us by helping us with the Liberation Center or Liberation Academy. Chazz and I have a brand new song. We have the title song for that play, and the song is called Shadows of Doubt, Whispers of Innocence. We're working on a video. We're going to play the song next week. We're going to play the song next week, Shadows of Doubt, Whispers of Innocence. We do have a video. If the video is together, this is just a video of the cast. So this is not the actual musical video that Chazz and I are going to do. So we're excited in San Antonio. What we're doing, it's to raise awareness about capital punishment and how it affects the African-American families, and what happens when a person is on death row, what happens behind the scene with the parents, the siblings, the children, the family. And we're going to show how a family did everything they could to stay together. So we want you all to support that. Again, that's Shadows of Doubt, Whispers of Innocence, September the 15th at the Joe Long Theater in San Antonio, Texas. It's going to start at 5 o'clock. And if you want to support us next week, I'll put up the cash apps for Liberation Center and Liberation Academy. If you want to support us, whatever you want to give us, that's fine. So yeah, Chazz, that's important, man, that we keep doing things that's really conscious and social, that people can know about it.
Yes, absolutely. I just want to say real quick, for tonight's broadcast was excellent as always. I appreciate all the comments of Sister Marie, Sister Barbara, Sister Mashonda, Sister Keena, Charisma, all the guys who come in. It helps the broadcast go quicker. And it actually is something we appreciate reading you guys' comments, because you guys could be doing anything else, but you stood an hour with us to understand and learn. So we appreciate that. But tonight's broadcast is why we can't get together as family. Why do we always have disagreements? Why are we always fighting? Why are we always bickering? Why are we always in chaos and drama? Why can't we get together and have a good time without any hiccups or any fights breaking out? Why do we treat our family as pieces of garbage?
Come on, Chazz.
Why do we not appreciate family values such as loyalty, sticking together by each other's side through thick and thin? Why are the family values and traditions thrown by the wayside?
Chazz, you preaching tonight, brother. You preaching tonight. You really are preaching tonight, and we all need to hear it. We have a couple of comments. I like to say to everybody, Shem Hotel, which means go in peace. And so the sister says here about the play, she says it's going to be great. She's going to travel from Indianapolis all the way to San Antonio to be a part of this great production. And to that, we're so grateful for her. And then this other same sister says, Shem Hotel Brothers, great show, because people realize now we need to talk about our families are falling apart. Some of it is from the outside, but some of it is from the inside. And that's what we're talking about tonight. And Sister Barbara says, bring it back next week. Yeah, we're going to bring it back next week with the same fervor, intensity, and fire. And oftentimes, Chazz, you tell me you crazy. But Chazz, you crazy too. And that's a good thing we say that, because you're spot on when you're having a passion to talk about why we can't get together as African-American families. We talk about all the conspiracies against us, the government and all of that, and it's true. We talk about the political, the religious, and all that stuff that's against us, and it's true. But then when are we going to take this thing within our own little circle called family and deal with that to try to help us be more or less insulated against all these things, Chazz? Because we need to do that. And next week, we're going to talk about more when it comes to what we need to do as family members to make this happen. And to the sister again that said, Shonda, she said, She keeps trying. She keeps trying. If you die and your epitaph on your tombstone says, here is a woman that kept trying to get her family together. It didn't happen, but she tried until her last breath. To that, I salute her, because a lot of people are going to try it a couple of times to give up. She said 3 times she's tried. But with these people in our family, Chazz, sometimes you got to go more than that. You got to keep doing it because they don't listen before you get together with your immediate family. But tonight's subject, if you didn't get a chance to watch it, go back and rewatch it. Don't play with us like this. Go back and watch it when it's posted. Why we can't get together as African-American families more. Now, tomorrow we'll get together. We're going to go see the fireworks. We're going to do the sparkles, I should say. We're going to go to the park. We're going to do the barbecue. I'm not down with that. If that's your thing, do it. I have nothing to do with the 4th of July. But if you do it and you don't get together with your family, but you'll get together on a day that's not even yours, and you don't get together on a day where your flesh and blood come together, you are as low as a dog. And we're no, you know it's a dog. You'd rather go watch fireworks and get involved in things that has nothing to do with you. If that's your thing, I ain't knocking that. Right. But you don't want to get together with your family? Right. You gotta be sick, Chazz. So why don't you take us away and get us out of here? Because that's the last thing I'm gonna say.
I'm not gonna lie, brother. I think I did. I fired off while I had a few minutes ago, but I just wanted to say once again to all the viewers, we appreciate it. We hope you guys come back next week. I had a good time as always doing this broadcast, and like I said, brother, I've already said what I had to.
All right, then. On behalf of Chazz, I'm your big brother Jahi. We'll see you next week with a brand new song, a brand new video from the cast of Shadows Without Whispers of Innocence, and we'll continue to talk about this. So please be here on time, because if you're not here at 6 o'clock Central Standard Time, because we're going to play it at the outset, you're going to miss out. And don't be commenting saying, where's the video? Where's the video? We've already played it. So just like you're ready for all your other engagements, all your sports, all your entertainment, all your media, all your movies, you get ready when they come on, you there when it first starts. You don't want to miss the movie. Don't miss us like that. And don't play with us like that. I guess that's my new little word, Chazz. Don't play with us like that. That's the thing. Don't play with us. So again, brothers and sisters, we thank you for watching this broadcast. And Sister Charisma says, see y'all next week. We'll see you, Chrissy. Hang in there. Right, well, Luke, we said, what's up? We'll see y'all later. Take care of yourselves. Chazz, I'm out of here. So are you.
Take care, y'all.
Hey.